Hello and welcome. My name is Peter Minkler. I'm a member of the Baltimore Symphony Viola section, and I'm here today to help the Baltimore Symphony Youth Orchestra with their auditions for 2021. Um, what I'd like to do is just concentrate on the three excerpts from Mussorgsky's pictures at an exhibition. So let's start with the first one. It starts at number 6, and this is from the one called The Gnome. Now this piece is about a musical representation about a man who's going through an art gallery and looking at different pictures, and each picture, of course, is a musical piece. So the promenade, which begins the piece, is that he's strolling around the gallery, and then we get to each of these pieces. And the first one is called The Gnome. Okay. Now the first thing to look at is that it is in 6 flats. That means that every note is flat except F. So as you see in the first measure, it's C flat, E flat, D natural because it's marked as a natural, then C flat, B flat, D natural again, and then G flat. So it sounds like this. Again, let's play those notes again, starting with the C flat. Now you see the next figure where it says meno vivo. It's exactly the same notes, except it's in piano, and it'll be twice as slow as the vivo. And then the next vivo, the one at the end of that line, you'll notice that the last note in that is changed from D natural to D flat. So it sounds like that. One more time. So going on from that one, the same thing again. See that the second bar has an F flat and it has to be marked that way since it's not in the key signature. So I'm going to play now from the beginning of it a little bit faster. It's very important to be close between the two strings so that you're not, when you're straddling them, there's not a whole lot of motion. You try to keep the motion as little as possible, and I play it at about the balance point. Oops, the balance point in the bow, right about here. Okay. Let's try it a little in tempo. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's the excerpt. So we're going to play it a little bit faster, okay? It goes in 1, da 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 da. And as you heard me do this time, in the meno vivo, you count out the bar and 2/3 rest in that tempo. So don't jump in too soon. It's 2 different tempos. The vivo is 1 tempo, then the meno, and then back to the vivo. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1. And that's the excerpt. The bar before 7, I do shift to second position so that I only have to go over 2 strings for the B flats instead of 3 strings. That's a little bit, it may slow you down if its tempo is faster than that. So that's the Gnome. The next one is Samuel Goldenberg and Shmuley. And this is a portrait. There's 2 men in this picture, and this is a portrait of Samuel Goldenberg. Now, it looks very complicated with all those 30 seconds and 64th notes and all of that stuff, but it's not really, because it's twice as slow as what you may think. It's in 8, so each 8th note is a beat, So what I'm going to do is first I'll play it through so you can hear what it sounds like, and then I'll talk about a few places within it and some fingerings that I think will help you. So let's start from 56, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so you'll notice on all those long notes, um, at the bar after 57 and then the last bar, I hold all the way through, and that's important because what comes after this connects to it. So you have to hold that long note as long as it says 7 counts, and at the end, and then the bar after 57 is 5 counts, 5/8 notes. So you just have to be careful to do that. Now, in the first line, the last measure, I shift to third position here, here, and then third finger in first position, and then stay in first position. And then this one is, since your first finger is on the F, I play the A natural with third finger, so it's sort of a second position. Okay, so. And then going on. Third position. Back to first position, third finger. Okay, the decrescendo and the first measure of the second line is important, but when you come back in at the beat before, 2 beats in this case, before 57, it's loud again. So you just have to make sure that when you're playing that one figure where the decrescendo is, you make that decrescendo. I think that's it. I will play it through again, and you're welcome to play it along with me. Okay, here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. And you notice that I'm playing, especially before the last bar, very close to the frog around the balance point, so that I have enough bow to be able to play that last note very strongly. The last thing is that the violins, your friends in the violin section, has this marked as everything on the G string. So they're playing very high on the G string as the figures go up. I play it in first position because I think it gives a nice bass quality and a harder quality to the sound, so you don't just have all that gruff G string sound from the violins. Also, of course, part of this is an octave lower for us, so that even gives it more. Okay, so that's it for Samuel Goldenberg and Shmuley. And the last one is the hut on fowl's legs. And if you can imagine this, it's a hut, and instead of it being on poles or stakes, it's on chicken legs. So that it's kind of a weird looking picture. So the difficulty here is the pizzicatos and then the arcos, going between the two. And what I do is that at times I play left-hand pizzicato because I may not have time to get back to the instrument to play the arcos. So in other words, slowly from 84, okay, I may play the last note, left-hand pizzicato, and then maybe the first note after it, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back in time. Now, if you want to mark that in your part, which ones you want to do left-hand pizzicato as opposed to right, the left-hand pizzicato is marked with an X above the note, and that tells you it's a left-hand pizzicato. So I'll play this one slowly for you first, and with no double notes, so it'll just be the notes, okay? 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, that's the excerpt. Let me just point out a few things. At 86, those notes, A flat, E flat, B natural, E flat. I play the B natural with the fourth finger on the D string, but you could actually shift down to first position if you wanted to, if you prefer to do that. The rest of it's pretty straightforward until the last measure. It's a B natural to an A flat. So what I do is I practiced it so that I could play the A natural on top, which is a harmonic, like that. And then I just aim a little bit low for the A flat. And you try to do as much of the glissando as you can. As you see, I do it over 3 strings, not on 1 string, because there just isn't, for me, there isn't enough time to get all the way up to that A flat. So that's why I go over the 3 strings. Okay, so I'm going to play it a little bit faster, and you'll see sometimes I will play left-hand pizzicato and sometimes not. And that's because I'm not sure whether I can get back or in time to play the arco. So here we go. 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so that's sort of a medium tempo. I should say after 87, those bottom notes obviously are very important. The F sharp, F natural, E natural, and E flat. So all the rest of it is the same except that last note. So I will play it about up to tempo now. And please join me if you want to. Here we go from 84. 1, 2, 2, 2. Ah, didn't get back in time for that pizzicato, so let's try it again. 1, 2, 2, 2. And that's the excerpt. So I hope that has been a help to you, and good luck on the auditions. And I'm sure I'll see you again soon in a regular coaching. Thanks again. Bye.